With Bleach Rebirth Souls being a little under 4 days away and with us knowing the entire roster now, I've been wondering about the 4 DLC characters who have not been announced up to this point and who they could be, and so I made a mock-up of each character and what their cook could look like. The way I'll be going about predicting this is keeping in mind that they're going to probably want to use these characters in the potential sequel for this game, so no Core 4 content, and also no like wonky characters, probably that couldn't fit, that they couldn't just completely reuse. Also, I stream on Twitch, and I'll be live on March 20th, 11 p.m. Eastern to stream this game when it releases. And with that out of the way, let's begin. The first character I've selected for this is Unohana. I feel like she's a pretty fairly obvious pick. A lot of people have also been predicting her. She's one of the captains who we do not have in the game alongside with Jushiro. But since Jushiro doesn't really fight, people don't really predict he's going to be him. But Unohana makes a lot of sense. Very popular character in a very hype moment. I think she'll still have a pretty simple, fast play style. And I think her main gimmick that'd be attached to her is the ability to heal herself like she does in the fight with Kenpachi. I think after Awakening, her attacks have a lot more range. Similar to someone like Gin after Awakening. With her having the blood attacks that she used in the anime, I think they'll give her a ton of range. And I think she'll just be able to heal herself a lot more. I think she'd be more of an interesting glass cannon type of character, but with the ability to heal herself similar to Yukiora, let's just say. Where I believe she'll have a lot more damage, but she hits hard, but she can always take that back. But there obviously be some kind of drawbacks with her healing herself, but that'd be for the game to always figure out, not me. Anyway, with that out of the way, the next character I have picked is... For the second character I picked, Asnot. I was thinking about Orihime at first, because I think she has some cool gimmick with like maybe Ichigo coming in for some attack. A lot of that is mainly in Core 4, so I don't know if they want to do that yet. But I thought he could be a very interesting character with the fear gimmick. I don't know how exactly they want to design a move like this. I was thinking maybe a move that would take more spiritual pressure to use. I was thinking at first something with immobilization, where they just can't do anything. But that sounds like a really fucking annoying mechanic. I think people would fucking hate that. So something where they debuff the player, I think. Maybe they can't move as quick. Maybe they just debuff fucking everything. Damage, speed, everything. But then again, I think this has to be pretty balanced. I can't have like fear just be fucking everything. So I decided to go with the spiritual pressure moves being harder to use or take more of your bars to use. I think this character would use the Quincy arrows and also the Senbon Zakura. And I think he'd also be able to lay traps, similar to kind of like Yuhabaha does in that final fight with Ichigo, but he would lay traps that you step on him that increases fear gauge, the activating faster. Something with also the Awakening, I think it'd be interesting to see how they design that, since I don't think he really fights too much in the Awakening. I rewatched the episode the other day, and it seems like he just kind of comes out and gets one-shot by Rukia. So maybe they just kind of keep the same moveset, just make shit better. He looks cooler, like how some other characters kind of play. Like I think Hollow-Fied Ichigo, he has the same kind of like moveset as the Bankai Ichigo, but it just looks a little bit cool. I think it's something they could probably do. And then the third character is Ichigo Kurosaki, my favorite character. I originally didn't want him to be in here because I thought, you know, this should be as unique as possible. Shouldn't have any repeat characters. Nobody from like really the base game should be in here. But after thinking about it a lot, I feel like it makes a lot of sense. He's a really popular character. You'd probably sell a lot. But I think for this character, I'd want him to be the Fullbring version, not the True Shikai version. I did have an initial concept where he'd start in Fullbring Shikai, Bankai, and then maybe re-wakening the True Shikai, because I don't know exactly how you'd waken him into True Shikai. Maybe do the whole animation and pulls the swords out, but I feel like that'd be a really difficult character to design. And also, making the character just full out True Shikai, I feel like that'd be kind of a problem to make too. I mean, I haven't seen any characters really that just have like, they don't transform really. You know, Koraku, but he's the games. True Shikai, I don't know what they'd want to do with him. Maybe you can like a good Tensho gauge, something that makes him look cooler. But I feel like just the most amount of sense would be doing a Fullbring Ichigo. Keeping in mind that they want to reuse this character probably in the next game, I think he would work really good as a Fullbringer Lost Agent character and also being the 1000-year Blood War. So he have a mix of two of the moves. I think the main gimmick this character would have would be the Bloodsvein, where he can use that as a defensive kind of counter mechanism. So to make him different from the other Ichigos, I think he'd be more of a counter kind of fast character, where he mainly relies on the Bloodsvein counter. Like his signature skill could be a move where he counters range attacks, like any Seros or the Quincy arrows from Asnot, let's just say, he'd do like a counter attack to that. I feel like that'd make him a lot more unique compared to the other Ichigos, who are kind of pretty standard as they're supposed to be, because they're supposed to just pick up and play characters, but I think this would be an interesting way to design him. I think the initial Shikai version of him would not be something super interesting. Just have some moves from Fullbring, maybe the Getsuga Tensho that he does against Ginjo as his Kikon move. But for the Awakening, I think it'd be cool to have him coming out of the smoke like in the Lost Agent arc, but instead of him actually coming out of the smoke, he throws his sword down like he does against Yuhabaha, and then he comes down and grabs it in this one pose that he does. I think interesting to combine him with the Masked Ichigo and the Bankai Ichigo is that he has the range of the Hollow-Fied Ichigo from the Mask version, but he has the quickness of the Soul Society in one. But maybe it is a drawback. His damage output isn't as great, but the way to mend that is with the counter system. I think with Bloodsvein, there should be a gauge attached to that. And when it fills up the max, he can gain a all counter basically move. He can counter both the physical and range moves. But normally with a signature move, I feel like he'd only be able to counter range moves to kind of balance it out, which there is quite a few range characters, so I feel like he'd be a good way to counter Quincy's and other range characters that might be a problem. I think another really cool thing to add to him is his Kikon move could be the move he does where he first fights Yuhabaha, when his eyes flash and shit, and the giant aura explosion. That'd be a really fucking sick Kikon move, and probably the best looking one in the game. So I think this character, while he may seem disappointing at first, he's not true Shikai, I think he'd be a character that'd be really fucking cool and really fun to play as. So when I recorded the concept for this Ichigo, it was Sunday, and today's now Monday, and we got Dangai Ichigo's official character trailer, and he is basically everything that I made for the Fullbring Ichigo in a way. He has the counter mechanic that I thought would make that Ichigo unique in a way, and he also has the faster attacks too, which I kind of wanted for the Fullbring Ichigo, but I guess in a way this still kind of works out. You know, the Fullbring Ichigo, in a way, he still could have the traits of all the Ichigos. Dangai, he could have Dangai's counters, basically, in a way, but instead of a way to make him more unique, I would probably give him physical counters only, and then when the Blood Vein gauge fills up, he would go back to all counters, you know, like I said in the video. But, you know, if I wake up tomorrow and we find out he also has a gauge too, then fuck me, I guess. But until then, we'll find out. And for the final character I picked is...
Sa, tatakao Waga no wa Yuhabaha.
Yuhabaha. I think he could be a really interesting character, depending on how they want to design him. I was thinking at first he could just start off with not having a sword that he uses, just being a hands and Quincy Arrow's character, and then he awakens into using that one sword he uses. And then he could have a reawakening where he uses the Almighty, like the black cloak and shit. But I'm not really sure exactly how they want to design this character. I think obviously he'd be a ranged and a physical kind of attack character. You know, he'd be a really cool, like, mix-up kind of character in a way. I think you also just have to have this character in here. He's the main villain of the arc. He's just sick, dude. Like, I feel like if they don't have him in this, it'd be really odd. And I feel like he just makes a ton of sense. He have a really unique play style. I think he could have something with the Almighty gauge, maybe. I don't know how exactly they want to design that, since the ability is seeing the future. So I don't know if you want to give him, like, counters again or something, but I feel like it'd be kind of a tricky character design if they don't want to make him with how this game makes each character very, very unique to their play style. So yeah, those are the 4 characters I picked. I initially wanted to go more in depth with these characters, but with the game not being out yet, I don't really know how I would do everything. You know, maybe I want to get my hands on the game for a while, and I know each mechanic inside and out. I can make a lot more of an in-depth video. This is more so like a wish list of just what I'd want to see and what I realistically think could happen. And this is my first video I've ever made. Well, I made a couple of videos when I was like 10 years old, but that doesn't really count. So I'm going to try to keep uploading this channel. You know, I stream over on Twitch, like I said in the beginning, so I'd appreciate if y'all come out there sometime. And yeah, I'm probably going to upload more VODs to this channel, more edited videos hopefully. I'm hopefully going to post a lot of Bleach Rebirth Assault when that comes out. So yeah, stay tuned and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.